for the don'ts when you are constructing a pond, there are some things that you must avoid. For example, if you construct a pond without doing site clearance, it will be a very big problem, because after completing your pond, the pond will start seeping. And once it starts seeping because of lack of site clearance, you will never correct that problem. And that problem comes as a result of failure to bond the soil to the soil. You are bonding the soil to the grass.
Men at work. Oh, women in need. We welcome women at work.
Friends of benefit.
For those who the grace of God has helped to finish the tea, report.
Now, once you bond the soil to the grass will rot, but it will leave a line of weakness. And water will always go by pressure. And once there is pressure and there is a line of weakness, water will always follow the line of weakness. So that media between the soil and the other soil, and which was created by the grass, will become a line of weakness. So that one should be avoided. So it is always important to do site clearance. And once site clearance is done, you look at the slope. If the slope is like this, and you see there is some good slope, then don't excavate the soil and put on the upper side, because the upper side is already at a higher level. My name is Engineer Godfrey Byaruhanga. I'm an aquaculture system designer and engineer, and I work with NARO, and I'm based at Kajansi. Within this my work, I design aquaculture infrastructure for all the production systems. And now here we are training these farmers on how to select the site for aquaculture development. Then after selecting the site, they need to appreciate the role played by a design. They can only appreciate, because for them they don't do the design, but they need to appreciate why a design is important. And once they appreciate why a design is important, they will always look for people who can design for them their infrastructure before they begin and mess out. Because most farmers have messed up on infrastructure development. And the infrastructure development is the background for the aquaculture development. If you don't do the infrastructure very well, then whatever you do will actually fail. If you have the best seed, you have the best feed, you cannot make ends meet if the infrastructure is not efficient. So now we are training these farmers on site selection. We have selected this site, and now we are also training them. We have already trained them on setting out. You can see the rope. And now we are training them on how to construct a pond. We started by site clearance. We have cleared the site, and now what they are doing is excavating from the base, where the base of the pond is supposed to be. After excavating from where the base of the pond is going to be, now they are going to work on the sloping sides. After working on the sloping sides, they are going to work on the top of the dike. After working on the top of the dike, they will work on the outer edge of the dike. Then after that, we shall do the finishing works. When we finish the finishing works, we shall go for installation. We shall install the inlet pipes and the drainage pipes. After installing, now we work on the conveyance structure that conveys the water from the source up to the inlet points. And then after that, we shall work on the control points, where we shall control the water. If we want it in the pond, we open. If we don't want it in the pond, we close. If we want to drain the water from the pond, we drain, open and drain. And if we don't want to drain the water, we close the pipes. Then after that, we shall also construct what we call a drainage channel. This drainage channel is to allow the water to get out of the pond if we don't want it. Because as the fish uses the water, they contaminate that water. So we need to exchange that water, get the bad water out, and replenish it with good water. So in that process, we shall need to drain part of the water. So as we drain part of the water, the drainage channel should accept drainage by gravity. Then as we replenish, we shall operate. At the end of the day, we shall need to harvest. So at harvesting, we shall need to harvest all the water outside the pond. So now that's now the functionality requirement of a fish pond. So as they construct now, as they excavate, they are supposed to heap the soil in depth of 1 foot. After heaping, they are supposed to compact. Then they compact throughout the length of the dike. Then they also add on the excavated soil on top of the soil, not until we get the depth that we want within this pond.
Good.
Working at the base of the pond. So after working at the base of the pond, where this lady is now pulling the soil, this is going to be a sloping ground, a sloping side. Now behind this lady is going to be the top of the dike. Where I am now here, this is also going to be a sloping side towards this side. Then behind up to here is going to be the top of the dike. Similarly on the lower side. And why we are putting all the soil on the lower side is that when you look at the terrain, the slope is sloping towards this side. So the method of construction that we are using a cut and fill method. So we are cutting soil from the side from up and filling on the lower side. So we shall build this dike first. When we complete this dike, then we come to this dike that is combining the top to the bottom. Then we come to the other dike and finish with the top dike. So that is the procedure that we are going to follow. 2 feet down here and coming towards this side, you will see the shape coming. Now I see yourselves getting discouraged that the place is very big. It's not very big. We began from the hole to the part.
You scared us by the hole.
But you have...
Up to the rope. Even this one here, some can come here. Can come here and push this one down. Because here we have a sloping side, and all these ones also are supposed to be removed. And there. Even here, this soil here, some of it is going behind, but we shall do most of the cutting from here. It will go down the other side because the other Nene dike is still low. We must reach this level. After reaching this level, we go to another level. We go to another level and finish with this one here.
I've learned how to put up enough pond in a slanting manner whereby initially for us we farmers we've been using that steep side whereby at the end of it all you find that water has been hitting the sides
Please
and
members,
the pond
come back and work.
falling inside or
Come.
having much silt down. But as a result of this training, we've learned how to put up a nice pond in its slanting form with its layers, and I'm sure from here we shall be able to put our own in the perfect way.
Yeah, but be audible.
So my name is Kabule Maiko, Fisheries Officer from Luwero District. So actually today I'm so happy to have a hands-on on how to design a pond and how to construct it, because today we have practically done it, and I know from the experience I've had now from today I'll be able to see how I can help my farmers, because we have learned on how to cut the soil and fill at the shallow ends and how to deal with the flat land, such that you can have a properly designed fish pond.
I've learned how to take the measurements and to construct the pond. But it's not an easy job, eh? It's very hard. But if you want something good, you have to work hard in order to achieve it.
So what you need to do is excavate the soil and put on the lower side so that you can raise that side to match with the upper side. So for this pond now, what we are using is a cut and fill method. We are cutting from the upper side the way you are seeing and then depositing the soil on the lower side. So once we do that, that means we are raising the lower side to cope with the upper side so that we have a leveled dike. So another thing what you should avoid, like say when you are excavating a pond, make sure that when you are setting out, you set out from the hole. You first begin the big thing. Then when you come to the construction, begin from the detail, the smaller thing. So now we started by looking at the whole part. Then when we went to the construction, we looked at the deeper end. So the deeper end now is going to give us the sloping sides. If we find that it is not giving us the sloping sides, then we shall again deepen again. But we don't again start deepening from the sloping sides when the deeper end is still intact. So you start from the deeper end, then you come on sloping or trimming going towards the dike. And again you scoop the soil to fill onto the dike and compact. Now specifically here we're not compacting because this pond here is going to be lined. Because the soil structure here is just loam soil. And since it is loam soil actually infiltrates a lot of water. And now the seepage is going to be high. And since it is high, it will not retain this water for a long period of time. So the solution is to have a dam liner. So when you have such a kind of soil, don't just construct the pond and fill in the water and go away. The solution can be you can import clay and line it up with the pond and remain an earthen pond. Or you can get any other material and line it with the pond and it becomes now a tank. That is it.
Good.